Want to do some email questions?
Well, I'll let you know after I hear them. What do
Too
we
late
have?
then.
Right.
Okay, we're going to bring it on. This first one is from Cody, who says, my wife and I have been happily married for several years. My only concern is that she continues to have friendships with male friends she used to date. Do you have any advice on how to handle this situation that keeps coming up?
Cody, the best thing to do is to not begin to be suspicious and to harbor your wife while you're running around with Charlie, and I know what's going on. You do that and you'll ruin your relationship and you'll drive her away from you. There's no doubt that it depends on how close they are. Are they friends? But is there more than friendship? Is there hand-holding, hugging, kissing? What goes on? And I think that's an important thing, but to have normal, healthy friendships is not necessarily a bad thing. But you don't know how much secret love is still residual because, you know, those early romances have a strong pull on all of us. You know, you think back to your girlfriend or boyfriend in high school.
So, no residual.
No residual?
No residual.
What do you say? She hadn't got any? Or not?
Well,
you shouldn't have any.
He does say that she has friendships with male friends that she used to date. So it's not a person that she might have that residual feeling for.
No residual.
So, you know, she might be someone who leaves relationships on a friendly term, which I think is pretty healthy, actually. But,
pretty healthy.
You know, if she's going out to dinner alone with them, I think maybe I'd be concerned.
But the big thing is not to hover and be suspicious.
Yes, I agree with you.
What did you do last night? I heard you. You're right with, you know,
right.
That'll kill you. They'll kill the relationship and drive your wife away. All right, what?
Hey, this is Mark, who says, growing up with grandparents, I always hoped my preschoolers could be close to theirs. My mother-in-law has tried to cause trouble in our marriage and often has angry outbursts. Now she wants to babysit the kids. Am I wrong to be hesitant?
Mark, you're not wrong at all. I'm a grandparent, 14 grandchildren. I love my grandchildren. We have a very healthy relationship with all the children and the in-laws and the daughters-in-law and sons-in-law and so forth. And it's just a very nice family, and it's a blessing, you know, our grandchildren. But if you've got a cantankerous mother-in-law who is going to try to turn the kids against you and poison the relationships and so forth, you don't really want her taking care of your kids. Yeah. I think. And I think you're not wrong to say, look, no way until that lady straightens out. But yes,
you might find some benign short-term things, like if you're running to the store. Do you know what I mean? Where because it would be awkward to say absolutely not under any circumstances, but not maybe for long periods of time.
Your mother, dear, can have a benign trip to the grocery store. Beyond that, she can't go. All right. Go
okay, this is Christine, who says, how do I impress upon the people who work for me the seriousness of telling lies? They seem to do it without even thinking twice, and when confronted about it, they're disrespectful. How can I get them to be truthful?
Fire them. That's the easiest way. You send a message real fast. We will not tolerate lying. And I think there are many businesses, they will not, you know, I wouldn't tolerate deceitful employees lying to customers. Yeah. It'll ruin your reputation as a company faster than anything, and it'll ruin the relationship of the employees to the employer. You say these people work for you. I presume you're the boss, but if you're the boss, then if one of them is lying, just let them know you lie again and you're out. Fire them.
Yeah, that's a character flaw.
A big-time character flaw. Now, you say, well, I grew up that way. Tough luck. Go back home and ask your mother to train you again. Yeah. You know, but, I mean, get rid of them. You can't have people like that around. Right. Because that'll create an air of distrust throughout a whole organization. You're based on trust. And your reputation as a company depends on the fact that your customers believe what you say. And if you promise something, you do it. But if somebody's slipping around and lying, you can't stand it. So fire them. Yeah, I mean, do yourself a favor and fire them.
This is Stephanie, who says, I was recently told at work not to bring my Bible. I love reading my Bible at work during breaks and lunch. I understand not having religious materials where customers can see them, but now we're not even allowed to bring Bibles to the break room. Is there anything I can do about this?
Yeah, you can sue them because they're taking away your oh, man.
Fire them, sue them.
Tough. It's the end of the week. Another day like this, and I'll be growing horns and spitting out fire. Seriously, they're violating your civil rights. You have a right in your own personal time to read devotional literature if you so choose. And if they keep you from doing it, they are discriminating on religious grounds, and they can be hurt. So in a real sweet way, you need to say, look, I really think this is an important thing to me. I really need spiritual uplift during the day, and in my own time, I have a right to read the Bible. And if the boss says no, you say, well, I'll see you in court. It's just that simple, because you definitely have a legal claim on that one.
This is Kimber, who says, my husband and I are young, but we're still very concerned about the effect of government spending, rising taxes, inflation, and senseless laws on our nation and future. More and more young people are seeing this pattern of destruction. My husband and I don't want to sit back and do nothing, so tell us, what can we do?
Organize your precinct, or get out and get people of like mind together and for political action. The action starts with the precinct. The precinct essentially is your neighborhood. Organize the precinct. You might become precinct captains, and then you move on to congressional district level and state level. That's how you do it. Get involved where you are and begin whatever the cause is that you're concerned about, and, you know, go door to door, send out leaflets, help your party, whatever. That's how you do it. You've got to get involved, and you do it at the precinct level, all right?
Okay, this is Chris, who says, is it wrong for a husband and wife to live apart for a season? My husband has one more year to finish his degree in the town where we currently live. I have a great job offer back in my hometown where there's plenty of family to help with childcare. My husband and I have a strong marriage and know this would only be for a year. Do you think this is a bad idea?
Not really. The question is, what's going to happen later on? Are you going to continue that career from ever and ever, despite what your husband does or where he works, or, you know, your people will be my people, whether you go, I will go kind of thing, or you will say, oh, no, I'm staying here with my family. Be careful that you don't have attachments to your job and your family that are greater than your attachment to your husband. But the fact is, a year separation, a lot of people go into the service and they're separated for a year. People go to school and
when it's a mutually agreed upon plan like that, and you have a strong relationship, it makes a difference.
It's okay, but the going apart, you get attached to the job, get attached to the family and friends, and we had a situation, and I've got to be careful I don't get too precise, but there was somebody who was being considered for a very important position in one of our subsidiary organizations, and his wife basically didn't want to leave Daddy. I mean, it was just that simple. And so he basically says, well, I'm sorry, my wife won't leave Daddy, so I've got to go back to wherever they live. And, you know, and so that was not a cool thing. And I think, you know, you've got to determine what you're going to do. You've got a real good job, but, you know, is your husband going to have a better one? And can you work together? But carrying that thing out for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, you haven't got a marriage anymore. You know. So
have a good, firm, long-term plan.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we thank you for your email questions. We love hearing from you, and we try to answer as many of them as we can on this program.